Hey guys, it's Destiny, and today I thought I'd discuss Black Swan, Sparkle, Dill Pickle, and lastly, Jing Yuan. I'm going to give you guys my thoughts on which one you should go for, and also situations where you may value one over the other. If you guys do enjoy videos like these, make sure to subscribe and also leave a like to support the video. Before we start though, let me know in the comments down below, what's your favorite anime you've been watching recently? One of mine is definitely JJK, and if you don't have a recent anime, let me know a game you recently started playing instead. Now though, let's get straight into it. I wanted to start off with Black Swan, who will be a new staple to our damage over time teams based on what we've seen so far. She has a unique damage over time, which is referred to as Arcana, and this will be able to be stacked in numerous ways, from her basic attacks, skills, allies, and so on. Her technique also starts off the battle with enemies receiving some of these stacks, and Black Swan is going to be able to mainly deal backloaded damage from what we've seen so far. Getting as many Arcana stacks as possible will be the goal when playing Black Swan, and also taking advantage of the damage over time that she's able to inflict onto enemies. Another nice thing about Black Swan is that she can also reduce enemies' defenses with her skill, which can allow her to be a bit similar to a character like Kayla, especially if the defense drop has a high uptime. When it comes to team comps, Black Swan will more than likely excel with characters like Kafka, other damage over time users, but there also will be supports that can benefit Black Swan. One major one, of course, being rerun. I'll go over in-depth comps with Black Swan in a future video, but just on the basis, she looks like a great choice if you are interested in the damage over time playstyle. If you do have Kafka, she more than likely will be one of the best options with her. And when it comes to pull value, assuming you're into the dot playstyle, I would say Black Swan's value so far is a 9 out of 10. I'm subtracting only 1 point from her score just due to the fact that we already have alternative options when it comes to damage over time characters already, but she more than likely will be one of the best characters for this playstyle, which I did mention in a prior video. Her and Kafka are looking to be like bread and butter when it comes to their synergy potential. Now, if you aren't interested in damage over time as a playstyle, or how Black Swan appears to be primarily a backloaded damaging character, like some of our other damage over time characters, then Black Swan likely isn't going to be the greatest choice for you, and you may want to consider our other options, one of which being Sparkle. Sparkle is our secondary banner of 2.0, and she's going to be Quantum Harmony, who focuses on granting the team an abundance of skill points, advancing an ally forward, increasing all allies' damage, and also increasing the crit damage of an ally as well, which she does with her skill. Sparkle definitely has similar traits, but also a few differences to Bronya, who is one of the most valued characters in the game. One big difference is that Sparkle does not have a 100% advance forward like Bronya does, but Sparkle, from what we can see in the live stream, will grant an ally a crit damage bonus, once again based on her skill being used on that ally, rather than how Bronya grants it through her ultimate. Overall though, the two do have some similarities in the types of buffs they grant, and a lot may be wondering if Sparkle will replace Bronya, which I would primarily say no. As in all honesty, who wouldn't just want two of these characters that can advance an ally forward? So I believe they possess their own value and could be more accustomed to certain team comps depending on what Sparkle's full kit entails. When it comes to pull value for Sparkle though, if you don't have Bronya, then Sparkle is a character to keep your eye on for sure. If you do have Bronya and want a similar character to her for your other team, also another reason to keep your eye on Sparkle. One partner I could see her being amazing with is definitely Xingshui, since Xingshui loves to eat her skill points, literally like Pac-Man. And all good reason though, of course. Any super skill point hungry teams likely can benefit from the abundance of skill points, which might open the potential of team building even more. Overall though, her pull value is quite high, as for right now, based on her potential, and once we do officially get her, I'll showcase her and also give my full review on her for anyone who is on the fence on what she's able to provide for a team comp. Next up is Don Hung Il, who I like to occasionally call Dill Pickle since it's just kind of funny to me. Don Hung Il is an imaginary destruction class character who destroys his enemy by eating skill points, but he's remained one of the strongest DPS characters now for a few patches in Honkai Star Rail, and definitely is a powerhouse. Now I will say, if you built out your doctor ratio and maybe you're using the Dr. Numby team, which thanks to EO for that great team name, your need for Don Hung Il can be lowered because of that. While Dr. Ratio is single target, he does do a bunch of damage and additionally has, which can help with him being primarily single target. As a result, he may just end up being your primary imaginary DPS, and then Don Hung Il may not be as worth it anymore, at least to your account in particular. If you are interested in an AoE-centric imaginary DPS though, then Don Hung Il can definitely be an option, but with how many interesting characters are coming to Penacony, unless you've been saving specifically for him, I would probably prioritize the Penacony characters instead, but that's just my personal recommendation regarding that. Lastly is Jing Yuan. Jing Yuan has definitely gotten stronger as we've gotten more patches in Honkai Star Rail. Topaz and Numbi combo amazingly with him. The follow-up set is very good on him. And the more units that we've been getting recently have been synergizing pretty nice with him as well. The main issue though is the competition Jing Yuan currently has. And this will probably get worse when we get more of our Penacony characters. And I'm not saying by any means Jing Yuan is bad. He could be very strong on very specific comps and just the way you play him in general. But when it comes to how many AoE-centric characters we do have, I know that Kafka is definitely going to get better with the release of Black Swan. So some might suggest, okay, at that point, maybe just get Kafka and Swan instead, rather than getting Jing Yuan. And in 2.1, we will also be getting Acheron, who definitely has similarities to Ride and Mei in design. You may just want to save for her instead. Similar to Don Hong, if you've been saving for Jing Yuan because you really want him, then I think that's a perfectly fine reason to get him. Currently though, based on how I'm feeling about these reruns and Penacony's lineup from what we know so far, I would suggest taking a look at the Penacony characters first, rather than our current reruns, just to see what fully interests you and to see if these Penacony characters are going to bring something brand new to the table, something we haven't seen before. Maybe that could be a potential. We never know until, of course, they are here and we get to see what they fully do. Now, if I had to give my personal suggestion on who to pull for, I would say if you're an advocate for damage over time teams, it's one of your favorite playstyles, then Black Swan would definitely be your option here. But if you don't really care about the playstyle, then I'd recommend looking at Sparkle the most, especially for what she may bring to the table. And also, if you don't have Bronya, now you can have someone with similar buffs, which could be great for your account. That'll be all though for my thoughts on the pull value of each character. Let me know who you are most excited for in 2.0 and pulling for, or if you're actually going to just skip all of 2.0 and wait for 2.1 and beyond. I hope you all enjoyed this video, and if you did, make sure to subscribe. Also leave a like to support the video. Peace.